Person, one vote, equal population principle established by the U.S. Constitution.
Well, officials in New York say migrants sent from Texas are putting a huge strain on their medical services. It's now forcing the city to have to open emergency centers as well. New York is providing temporary shelter in giant tents on an island off of Manhattan. The Humanitarian Relief Center will start taking in single adult males on Wednesday, which is today. The facilities will include things like laundry, meals, and access to international calls. In recent months, New York City has seen an unexpected influx of immigrants and migrants seeking asylum in the U.S. Most have been sent to the city from other states, including here in Texas and Arizona. Meanwhile, Texas officials are trying to crack down on drug usage around our state and how they're being supplied to people.
Governor Abbott, he actually held a roundtable with some of the state's leaders to discuss about getting drugs off our streets. Earl Studemeyer has the details.
Pills like this are sold on the street in Texas every single day.
Abbott came to Waco Tuesday afternoon to announce new actions to take fentanyl off our streets.
The most significant, deadly, pernicious, illicit drug threat that I've ever seen.
Abbott has issued an executive order to designate Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations. DPS will work with federal and local agencies to identify gangs that support cartels and will seize their assets to disrupt drug networks.
Cartels need to understand if they are doing business in the state of Texas, every dime that they're making, every location that may be hidden, we will uncover it, we will root it out, and we will seize it.
In McLennan County, Sheriff Parnell McNamara says the problem is growing in Central Texas and is for stopping the influx.
They're every day with our drug dogs doing interdiction on the highway. We're running search warrants on people that we believe, we have reason to believe, are involved in the drug traffic or human trafficking. So we're never going to let up on them.
Governor Abbott recently signed into law an increase on criminal penalties for making or distributing fentanyl. Today, he proposed a new law to classify fentanyl as a poisoning instead of an overdose.
Because it is a poisoning, I want to make it a law that makes it murder for someone to knowingly provide fentanyl-laced drugs that lead to somebody's death.
This will bump state jail felonies to first degree being federal. Abbott is also asking the Biden administration to designate Mexican cartels as terrorist organizations. In Waco, Earl Studemeyer, Fox 44 News.
Now to other news. President Biden plans to announce new efforts later this morning to help lower prices at the pump. He's expected to release the 15 million barrels of oil from the U.S. Strategic Reserve. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Jesse Tenor is joining us live with how this really plays into the midterm elections as well. Good morning, Jesse.
Yeah, good morning to you as well, Sharon. President Biden is calling this election the most consequential in recent history, and he wants to show voters that his administration is taking action on things like inflation and also abortion. But Republicans are really seeing some of these topics as wins for them.
Vote! Vote! Vote!
President Biden hopes abortion rights will drive a record number of Democrats to the polls to keep his party's narrow control of the House and Senate.
If we do that, here's the promise I make to you and the American people. The first bill that I will send to the Congress will be to codify Roe v. Wade.
The issue has been at the forefront of contested Senate races across the country.
The women of Georgia deserves a senator who will stand with them. I trust women more than I trust politicians.
Georgia Democrat Senator Raphael Warnock promised to be a vote for codifying Roe, while his opponent, Republican Herschel Walker, would oppose it.
I believe in life. And I tell people this, Georgia is a state that respects life, and I'll be a senator that protects life.
Fellow Republicans, like Ohio Senate candidate J.D. Vance, hope the economy and inflation remain at the top of voters' minds so they can take back control of Congress.
That might have made the inflation crisis we've been seeing over the last few months a lot better if he hadn't done what he always does, which is vote with Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden 100% of the time.
But Vance's opponent, Congressman Tim Ryan, argued Democrats have been working to lower prices.
I know how much pain people are in at the pump, with food. It's rough.
And President Biden will continue his campaign blitz this week with remarks on the new infrastructure law in Pennsylvania tomorrow and then on student loan forgiveness in Delaware on Friday. Live in Washington, I'm Jesse Chenor. Sharon.
And Jesse, as you mentioned, there's a lot on the president's plate. So what other plans when it comes to announcing lowering those gas prices does he have as well?
Yeah, the president is expected to announce even additional drawdowns from the strategic reserve later this winter, but it's still not clear exactly how much more he would plan to tap into or how much more domestic production would have to increase to eventually end that drawdown. And so still waiting on some details there.